Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Victor, and today I want to talk a bit about a motivating bit of information I found, a picture found on the World Wide Web. I've seen it on multiple occasions, and well, if you're wondering what it is, it's this one. So winning puts you here, right? It's high, and losing is actually here, better than nothing, right? It's a little bit higher, but not trying is actually a negative. So what is the purpose of this graph? It's supposed to motivate you, right? To take action, to do something, right? At least try to, rather than just stay passive and not even try. So it's a good graph, right? Here's where I disagree. There are several points that make this short and simple graph wrong. And we'll look at some details first, and then we'll take a look at the big picture. You want to watch me tear this apart? Let's go. By the way, I think we would both win if you would tap that button for me, that like button, you know where it is. Maybe also that subscribe button as well. Thanks a lot. So first of all, what is this scale, this vertical scale? What is it? Is it pleasure? Is it things learned? Something like growth? Is it money? Is it success? Or is it how much you need to bet? I'll tell you what it is. It is left to our interpretation. So it can be whatever you find interesting, or whatever your mind finds in order to fill this gap. But why is there a gap? Why would someone make this and not put the second scale? They forgot. Or maybe they think it doesn't really matter. What do you think? Do you think it really matters? Or is it because they couldn't find the specific one that actually goes there? Here's the thing. I don't think there can be only one simple thing that is represented there on the vertical scale. It can't. It doesn't add up. Oh, and by the way, if you have some silly examples of what the scale might be, you can write them down in the comments. I really appreciate that. Oh, and it bothers me that there are so many situations that don't really fit this pattern. I'll give you a blatant example. Going to a casino, right? Which is all about winning or losing. You bet $1,000, 1,000 euros, whatever, and you win. Yay, right? It's good. Then losing puts you at zero, right? Or actually minus, because you also lost some money. Well, and not trying is actually better than losing in this example, because you still have the money, you still have the 1,000 that you didn't play. So another one that's a little bit more subtle. Dating. You find someone that's a match. Everything clicks, right? Yay! It's a win. But you find someone that's a terrible match. Toxic relationship gets you into debt. You lose your house or whatever. The divorce, right? It's messy. It's terrible. It's not positive. That's losing, right? There's no way it's positive. What about not trying to be in a relationship? What about that? That's where we get to the next point. Let's zoom out for a second, right? Let's take the example mentioned before and say you're not trying to date someone. What does that look like? Does that mean you're just sitting around doing absolutely nothing? I don't don't think so. So the graph here is very limiting because it isolates one action from your life from all other actions, which never happens. This never happens. Everything is connected, right? In multiple interlocking, overlapping systems. So for example, if I'm not trying to be in a relationship, maybe I am winning in another part of my life, which could be work, for example, right? I'm doing the grind, right? Keeping myself busy. Maybe I'm spending more time with friends, making friends with someone, rather than finding a partner, right? Whom I can spend my life with. Just find some friends and spend my time with friends. So in this case, am I losing in this category, or not even trying in this category, and losing at work? Or how does that work? What about your health? Are you winning at health? Losing at health is definitely not good. How do you not try to be healthy? You just don't care. If you already had good habits like eating specific meals at specific times, going out for a run every couple of days, you might be winning and not even knowing it. So it's also about awareness. Let's be real. Our lives are much more complicated, much messier than this winning, losing, or not even trying. You can't isolate one single thing you're doing. Sometimes, one day you feel like you're winning, you're on top of the world. Maybe a couple of days later, you feel like you're losing. It comes and it goes. It's good to take action, but I think our choices have much more impact than taking action. Depends on what you take action on. So let me give you an example. So when I was going to do my thesis for my bachelor's degree, I picked the toughest professor that was out there as my coordinator, right? He's gone now, may his soul rest in peace. He was a man of great stature, very intimidating, and not only his stature, but because he cut through all the lies and all the excuses that someone can make. So when I was doing the thesis, like most students, I was procrastinating. So, I don't want to start today. Maybe I'll start tomorrow. Maybe I'll start next week. Now I have some things coming up and it'll be a little inconvenient, right? All sorts of excuses like that. Maybe this idea won't be good. Maybe I'll pick another one, but I actually didn't think about the idea well enough, right? So the first time I went to him and during his consultation hours to present my idea, it was terrible. He told me, "You spent 5 minutes on this," which surprised me because it was true. So he told me I can do better. So I went back. I worked this time 15-20 minutes on the idea, another idea, right? So again, when I got to his office, he said, "This second-rate idea, doesn't think it'll work. Didn't think it was worth my time," or his anyway. So he told me that I should come. It was Thursday, so he told me I should come Saturday. That weekend, I wanted to go home. I was a student in another town, so I wanted to go back home and visit my parents and get some supplies and stuff. And I told him, I want to go home this weekend. So he mocked me. "Oh, you want to go home to your mommy and snuggle up in a little blankie and drink some hot warm milk, and stay all comfortable and warm and nice? Yeah, that's what you want to do?" So for me, it was a shock, right? This sort of approach, because professors don't do this, right? But he was right. I was looking for comfort, for convenience. So I was kind of angry, that I had to stay. But it's what drove me to find the final idea for my thesis. It worked. I took action. multiple times, right? Again and again. First one, yeah, I lost one. I lost that one because of how little effort I put into it. The second one, I lost that one too because it was a terrible idea and probably would have been impossible to implement. Third one was a win. So I think it's never one shot, one action that's isolated from everything else. They're all tied together. It's not one situation. Plus, what if I had chosen a different coordinator? What would have happened then? Because maybe another coordinator may have not pushed me in this way. What if I took action in another place? Like maybe I found a good paying job before I finished my thesis. It's also a matter of time because you can lose in the beginning, right? You feel like, for example, if you practice anything, any like instrument, art, whatever, in the beginning, it's clumsy. You feel like it's not working, right? You feel like it's losing, right? But then, at some point, you feel like it's working out, so you're winning. But who draws the line? If you're losing or you're winning, you do. You draw the line. You draw the line. And if you keep going, if you don't draw the line, it's never win or lose. It doesn't have to end. Life is much more complicated with many layers. Life has its ups and downs, right? It's never lose or win, right? This chart simplifies it way too much and ignores contexts, ignores nuances. Those matter more than you think. By the way, I'm going to make this announcement again. I've made it in one of my previous videos as well. If you need an ear, someone to talk to, feel free to reach out. I'll put my contact details in the description below. You can reach me on Facebook, on Instagram, even here, writing a comment. I know that everyone needs more time, right? Everyone is busy. Everyone is trying to do their best to manage their time, and I also know how much of a difference it makes to just speak about some things or write them down. So at the end of the day, I think we're all on our journeys, different journeys, right? With our ups and downs. So if anyone needs an ear, I'm here. As always, thanks a lot for spending some time here, and all the best.